Tonight on DC News Now, a third day in a row of late or no-show school buses in Maryland. Families in Prince George's County gathering for a meeting to hear how school leaders are going to fix the massive failure.
A few showers later on tonight, and the clouds will stick around before we could see a chance for a couple more of those thunderstorms bubbling up tomorrow afternoon. More on that coming up.
The future of the Kennedy Center remains in the air following a threat by the center's board to demolish it.
It is a symbol of an attempt by the president to corrupt a sacred memorial to John F. Kennedy and turn it into a vanity project for his own vanity.
The latest on an emergency hearing and what's next.
Back to school shopping is expensive. We're helping you stretch your dollar with a look at which outlet stores are actually a bargain.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. A heated meeting in Maryland as families demand answers from Prince George's County leaders following 3 days of school bus chaos.
The failure of a new tracking app has impacted 10,000 students. There's been gridlock traffic, forcing some parents to drive their children and other kids who've been left stranded. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg was at tonight's meeting in Upper Marlboro.
And Daniel, did school leaders have any solutions tonight?
Well, Susan and Chris, we just heard from Superintendent Dr. Sean Joseph, who said tonight he agreed with the upset parents and bus drivers that this was not an app failure, but rather a leadership failure. Now, this is all we're talking about, an app called Chipmunk that on Tuesday, when school started, got an error and really threw off those thousands of students left without a ride to school. Now, what some of the bus drivers have told us tonight is that, in fact, it was more than just the app issues. There were routing issues. Some bus drivers said that they got routes that overlapped with other routes. So while they might have gotten kids to school on time for one school, the second school they had to go to, those kids were maybe an hour or two late. And there were also parents who have been complaining that their kids have been getting home, more than 2 hours late. So today, the superintendent basically said that it was an error on their end, with 15,000 simultaneous users exceeding the vendor capacity for that app. But he also said on the scheduling side that there will be 27 additional routing staff, and they are looking by Saturday to complete that routing problem and really fix it so that next week when school starts, it won't be as much of an issue. Want you to hear something that one of the bus drivers had to say tonight at the meeting.
I'm standing here tonight because management is trying to blame tech glitches for a crisis created by leadership. You spent $3.2 million on the Chipmunk tracking app. But on day one, that app threw error codes and left 10,000 of our students stranded on the side of the road. As drivers, we were set up to fail.
So tonight, again, the superintendent saying they are working to solve these problems. He did make a point saying while the routing issues they're working on may be fixed by Saturday, that's not going to fix all of the transportation issues. And he really is working to fix that. But still, bus drivers and parents are really, really frustrated, and they say this is not something that is just a glitch that happened at the beginning of the school year. We're live in Upper Marlboro. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Oh my goodness.
Can't imagine the frustration for those parents.
Daniel,
Indeed.
thank you.
All right, hopefully things go smoother tomorrow. It doesn't look like it, though. All right, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jackie Layer. And Jackie, it was a little active for a while tonight.
It was. But not everyone saw those showers or storms. DC, we kind of missed out on it a little bit. We do have a couple of those thunderstorms out there right now, but no severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. But yes, some of those storms mainly just north of the district. Even across southern Maryland, we've been kind of spared of any of those showers or storms as well. So as we pause the map and zoom zoom on in where we are seeing some of those thunderstorms at this hour. We do have some of the lingering parts of that one severe thunderstorm warned cell earlier. That just a couple of those lighter showers right around the Rockville area as it tries to push its way south. Now back over towards Potomac and even out towards Reston. We do have the heaviest of those downpours even back out towards Sterling. That's continuing to sink its way farther south and east. Any remnants of that severe thunderstorm watch from earlier, it's still holding along parts of the I-95 corridor, southern Maryland, parts of northern Virginia. The areas out towards the west that were included earlier, those have since been peeled back. So at least much of the region back out west no longer included in that severe thunderstorm watch, but still at least holding till 10 p.m. So we still have less than an hour left. We're watching that cold front continuing to track its way across our area, and we still have a chance for a couple of thunderstorms to pop up later in the day tomorrow. But out there tomorrow morning, watch out for some patchy fog. We'll see right around midday temperatures lower 80s, middle to upper 80s for those highs tomorrow afternoon. But like I mentioned, could see a few storms bubble up later in the day tomorrow, but not as widespread as what we had earlier in the day today. But have a look ahead at that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
New tonight in the district, police are looking for this suspect wanted for misdemeanor sexual abuse. They say it happened in Northeast Sunday night along U Street. A nearby surveillance camera getting this video, the suspect. If you recognize this person on your screen, police want to hear from you. The family of a little boy who nearly drowned while at a D.C. summer camp back in July is continuing to press for accountability. Attorneys for Adonis Jackson's family saying the 6-year-old was at a soccer camp at the University of D.C. and was allowed to go swimming while they say no lifeguard was on duty. They say by the time a fellow camper noticed that he was at the bottom of the pool, he had been underwater for nearly 3 minutes. Adonis then spent 10 days in the ICU, hooked up to a ventilator to help him breathe. His family is worried about his memory, and they say he continues to struggle with sleep because of the trauma. But they're calling his progress a miracle.
It's the unseen that can be harder to diagnose and deal with than the items that we can see. We are grateful that he was able to start school.
The family's attorney is saying they're talking to all parties involved, but are also prepared to file a lawsuit.
Federal investigators say air traffic controllers in D.C. warned Marine One pilots of communication issues days before the president's helicopter and an American Airlines plane were allowed to take off at the same time. That's according to a new preliminary report released by the NTSB. Both sides had met to discuss failures in communications, but did not come up with a solution. The report says having Marine One and the jet in the air at the same time seems to violate safety procedures that were put in place following last year's mid-air collision near D.C. that killed 67 people.
No decision was made in another emergency court hearing on the Trump-appointed board member's desires to again put his name on the Kennedy Center. It is the same judge who just back in May ordered President Trump's name be removed from the building, saying it was added without congressional approval, making it illegal. Now that same judge is questioning why the center is so intent on returning his name to the historic venue by next month and also renaming the grounds Trump Plaza. The Justice Department attorneys arguing the Kennedy Center needs Trump's name attached to raise money for the renovations, which led the team fighting the changes, arguing this goes against the judge's original orders.
What we told the court today is that the government is flouting the court's orders, it's flouting the court's decisions, and it's courting a constitutional crisis over one man's vanity.
There's nothing about memorial. The name is going to be the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. That's not the topic. Today's topic is why wouldn't we just say renovated and restored by President Donald J. Trump? That's what the board said.
The attorney for the congresswoman suing to stop the name change is asking the judge for discovery so they can get a better look at the Kennedy Center's financial documents dating back to February. And there's no word on how long before the judge will have a ruling on this emergency hearing.
Also all new in the district, the feds have convened a rarely used special grand jury. It's focusing on supervision and oversight of children in D.C., including at public schools. The Washington Post reports prosecutors have contacted teachers and staff about truancy, graduation rates, and how attendance records are kept. The probe comes as the district continues to deal with high rates of absenteeism. The Post reports nearly 16,000 DCPS students skipped school in 2023 and 24. That's about a third of the district's K-12 enrollment. The U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro has previously linked truancy to kids' crime. She's even threatened to prosecute parents whose children repeatedly skip school or violate curfew. Her office says it cannot confirm or deny any investigation. We are getting an update on the case against a Northern Virginia man accused of killing his wife 2 years ago. Prosecutors have plans to use a trove of digital evidence at his trial in October.
Naresh Bhatt is accused of killing his wife, Mamta Kafli Bhatt, in their Manassas Park home, then dismembering and getting rid of her body. DC News Now's Randy Bass tells us about the thousands of pages of records we could see during the trial.
Naresh Bhatt set to stand trial for the alleged murder and disappearance of his wife, Mamta Kafli Bhatt, in just a few short weeks at the beginning of October. And up until this point, we knew a lot about the physical evidence in this case, and today we learned a whole lot more about potential digital evidence prosecutors could bring up at trial. Today, prosecutors and Naresh Bhatt's defense describing in court thousands and thousands of pages of digital evidence and records from Google and TikTok, 3,700 pages of data from Facebook and Meta alone. Those Google records likely to show damning searches prosecutors say Naresh allegedly made in the months leading up to his wife Mamta's disappearance 2 years ago. That, along with data from AT&T and Tesla, presumably data from the Bhatt family car with trip details, locations that prosecutors can use to paint a picture of where Naresh Bhatt may have gone after his wife was allegedly killed in their home, never to be seen again. Mamta's brother and former co-worker in court today learning about that evidence.
We need to be prepared that there is going to be a lot of digital evidence that's probably going to be asked to be introduced.
As for some of the physical evidence we know about, investigators have already said they found a massive amount of blood evidence along with a saw with hair on it in the Bhatt home. Mamta supporters gearing up for a long, emotionally taxing trial ahead.
I think it's mixed emotions, right? We want justice for Mamta, so there is some anticipation that we finally are going to get justice for her. But the flip side is it's going to be a lot of things to prepare to listen to in the courtroom that are probably going to be unpleasant and hurtful.
And that trial is expected to get underway the first week of October. It could last as long as 7 weeks. In Manassas, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Well, coming up here in DC News Now at 9, the National Guard has now been in the district for 1 year. What the troops are saying about their mission.
We're celebrating National Park Week with a trip to Western Maryland for a visit along a new trail, honoring what's considered the battle that saved Washington, D.C.
And ahead at 9:30, the latest on the deadly torrent of muddy water, several stories high, that swamped several communities in Nepal. The search for thousands who are missing, including nearly 100 Americans.